Do it live. What's up, everybody? Dark Horse Live episode 64, I believe. I get the number wrong every week. 64. Welcome. Sorry for the delay. For the live viewers, we are an hour late. Sorry, everybody. I've been painting like a motherfucker. And I hate painting. I absolutely fucking hate painting. But we're basically done. I think it's 3 straight weeks I'm painting. We did the entire warehouse. It's like 5,000 square feet. We took down every single light. We painted every nook and cranny, ceiling to floor. The entire thing is cherry right now. But yeah, that's a real bitch. And I basically finished this afternoon, or about 6:30 this evening. So sorry we're late, everybody, but we are here now. Tonight we're going to talk about cops. Everyone's least favorite subject, probably. But yeah, cops. So before we do that, let's do free shit.
It's free!
All right. Sorry, I'm packing a bowl. This is taking me a second. I don't have Caesar here. He usually hooks me up with a couple of joints before we start the show. But yeah, Caesar, just so everybody knows, I'll address it real quick. Caesar's not here. He's on a plane right now, I believe. So we won't have Caesar. I do have one BK roller who will be sitting in shortly. But yeah, Caesar, I give him a follow. Let's just say that. I don't want. He's got personal stuff he's got to deal with this week, but he's trying to raise some money for some personal issues that he has going on. I don't want to air his business out on this podcast, but if you follow him, give him or check out his page. If you don't follow him, give him a follow. And he's got a lot of crazy beans up for auction right now. So he's trying to auction some money, auction some beans, raise some money. It's for a good cause. It's legitimate. He needs a little help there. So check out Caesar IG page. Give him a follow if you don't. Otherwise, yeah. I don't know, buy some of his beans on his auctions. All right, everybody, free shit. That's what we're doing. This is Bruce Banner 3 S1's hot commodity. It's all shrink wrapped up in a little box. Looks nice. He sold out in like 2 or 3 minutes the first time. We did a re-drop of non-buyers over the weekend. Sold out in a few hours. So, yeah, these are fucking hot commodities. I got 2 packs sitting here that are burning a hole in my pocket. So let's do something to give them away, shall we? Shall we? All right. Let's see. What are we going to do? How about we'll do one now, and we'll maybe one at the end of the show. How's about darkhorsegeneticslive@gmail.com is the email, and I'm going to pick a person that sends me an email, the 44th person. Number 44. You're going to win this pack of seeds. So in the subject line, all you have to do to win, in the subject line, you have to write... BK, what's the word they're going to have to write?
5-0.
5-0. 5-0. All right, everybody. We'll do one more at the end of the show. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for waiting so long. At least you got a chance to score the super good shit. Super good shit coming up. One more at the end of the show. All right, everybody. Let's go split screen. Me and one BK. There he is. He's got a Caesar backdrop. Let me change it. Let me style you up. You want to go castle, bricks? You go bricks.
That works.
Well, let's put you on the beach, dude. That looks like shit. Anyway, this is bad audio. All right, anyway, there's BK on the bricks. That fucking beach just brought up a sore subject. How fucking hot has it been? Motherfucker, it has been hotter than shit. Like, absolutely hotter than shit. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of this fucking heat. Shout out, thumbs up. Like this shit or something if you're sick and tired of being hotter than fuck, because it is hot. I had to put in a whole other AC this past 2 weeks. We've added an additional 5 ton to the veg, so there's now 20 tons of air conditioning on the roof of our fucking building, and it is like a meat locker. It's fucking cold in there now. But yeah, there's 130 something lights, 20 tons of AC, 100 degrees outside. What the fuck? It's ridiculous. Anyway, scorcher. All right, cops. Let's talk about cops. What's a massive disclaimer? I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't know shit about the law. I'm not don't take any advice I'm about to spit out here as any grain of fucking truth or whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, if you get pulled over and you say, well, Jason at Dark Horse told me that fucking, you're like, that ain't gonna work for you, dude. So, but yeah, let's talk about fucking cops. First rule, if you're getting pulled over, eat all your drugs immediately. That's my first rule. I don't know about you guys, but Yeah, I would probably eat all them shits. If you got something serious, eat it. First rule.
What if you've got too much to eat?
If you got too much to eat, second rule, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's the number one rule. So the reason I decided to do this show about, cops or whatever was because I was watching actually Stone Ninja on Twitch, and he was watching reruns of Cops like on his show or on his stream, and every motherfucker on that show just gave up themselves entirely. At one point, they literally just wouldn't shut the fuck up and completely gave up everything, the whole entire case on them. But we'll get a little bit more specific about it. So with cops, let's talk about what to do when they come to your house, what to do when they pull you over, what do you do if they approach you on the street. I think the first thing we'll probably start with is getting pulled over, which is probably the most common way that people will have interactions with the cops, I would say. And the first rule of getting pulled over is don't get pulled over. Is your car fucking gonna get you pulled over? Is it have a license plate on, or a light bulb over the license plate? That's probably the number one. Like everyone's license plate bulb goes out, so you can't read their plate at night. Cops can pull you over for that dumb shit. Do you have a crack in your windshield? Is there something hanging from your rear view mirror? I don't care if it's a tassel, a fucking air freshener. Shit's illegal. Do you have a fucking GPS suction cup to your windshield? They can pull you over for that. Do you have tent that's super dark and like they're gonna want to pull you over and just fuck with you on it? It's don't have a vehicle that will get you fucking attract attention. That's another one. It's like if you're gonna be driving around doing something you probably shouldn't be doing, why the fuck are you in a hot pink fucking whatever? You know what I mean? Like top down cruising, music blasting. It's like that's not the look, man. You need to be fucking much more incognito if you're actually doing something. But I'm not really going to give advice on how to break the law so much. It's just how to deal with police interactions. But my first tip would be, most cops can find a way to pull you over. That's pretty obvious. They're going to get behind you. They're going to tell you real close. They're going to wait for you to make a mistake. And they're going to look at your vehicle like crazy and be like, what can I pull this guy for? They're going to profile you if that happens. And they're really just going to find a reason to pull you over. So you better learn how to drive straight as a motherfucker. Know the traffic laws. Stop before the fucking stop sign white mark. Stop at the red light before the white mark. Know what you're doing, and if you can drive a few miles to get where you want to be and he has no reason to pull you over, then he can't fucking get you. That's just, raw facts. Rule number 2 when you're getting pulled over, I don't know, this might be controversial. People might disagree with what I'm going to say on this, so touche if you do, but we'll get your opinions too, BK. But I would say as soon as you see those lights go on, turn on your cell phone. Start recording. Because you got to have a record of what the fuck's going to happen. It's your word against his word. And I would record. It's naturally going to make the cop much more suspicious. You know what I mean? So there's 2 approaches to probably getting pulled over, which is I was doing 5 over. I got nothing on me. I got my insurance. I'm good. It was fine, whatever. All right, officer, sorry. Whatever. Give me my ticket. I'm out of here. It's totally chill. There's another instance where it's like I'm not really wanting to be pulled over right now, so you have to approach the traffic stop completely different, which is, don't voluntarily give information. So, but I would immediately start recording the interaction. And you're not going to have, if the cops ask you to step out of the car for any reason or anything like that, they're not going to let you take your phone and keep filming it and everything else. So if you have anybody else with you, I would ask them to film from their phone and film the interaction that you're having. Because, if we've learned anything, filming the cops is fucking important. You're allowed to film the fucking police. I don't care what the fuck they say. You can fucking film them. With that said, let's talk about verbal consent and what you say to a cop. Is particularly if you're not having a traditional, sorry, I ran the stop sign, give me my ticket, I'm out of here type of traffic stop. What you would say to these cops when you get pulled over is essentially you crack your window, you provide your information to them, your driver's license, your insurance, and that's all you have to give them. And then if they ask you any questions, this is what you probably should say: is do I have to answer that? Do I have to answer that? I would not. And if they say yes, then you have to answer it. Then you probably should answer that question while you're filming this entire interaction. But don't talk to them for any fucking reason. There's something called verbal consent. So if they say, hey, you roll your window down? And yeah, sure. Well, you just gave them verbal consent. And they're going to spend that they're going to take that one step into a traffic. You got to look at every traffic stop as a game that the cops are playing. And they're playing a game to try to fish out as much information as they can and potentially, sometimes just to fuck with you, throw you, make your night fucking horrible or whatever. Or otherwise, they're essentially trying to sniff something out to get probable cause to move the traffic stop along. So if you can, just shut it down immediately and say, do I have to talk to you? Do I have to answer this question? Because you don't have to answer any of the police questions. And the reason, there's a few instances where you do, that's why I say, ask the cop almost everything he asks you, do I have to answer your questions? And if you say that, then and he says, no, you don't, then don't fucking answer his question. Don't incriminate yourself on anything. Like, for instance, if he comes up and says, do you know how fast you were going? Don't say, I thought I was doing, 25, 30, or, and it's a 20, or let's call it a 25 zone. You say, I think I was doing maybe 30, maybe 25, 26 there on my gauge. You just gave him everything he fucking needs. If he didn't have his radar on, he doesn't know. And then you literally just told him, you just gave up all the information you need for him to go back and write a ticket for you or whatever and move the traffic stop along. But as it relates to cannabis, there's a cannabis podcast. My advice to you for driving with cannabis in places where you probably shouldn't have it, use a glass jar, not a plastic baggie. Glass jar will seal much better, but a glass jar is still porous and the smell will still leak out of a glass jar. It takes about 1 hour of a brand new glass jar sealed up before it really starts to, not really, but before it will smell outside of that jar. So you don't want to smoke if you're transporting some sort of cannabis or whatever. You obviously don't want to be smoking cannabis. If you get pulled over and you're smoking cannabis, I can't help you. You know what I mean? Like you're pretty well fucked. But as far as cannabis DUIs, this is a big one too. This one, you're going to have to comply because you're going to have to get out of the car and do their sobriety fucking check. You can refuse it and you're going to lose your license. And in different states, it varies. But if you refuse it, you potentially go to jail. They try to do blood tests. You refuse all that stuff, they're just going to pull your license. That fucking sucks. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. If you do the sobriety tests and whatever, and they test your blood and you come up and they're trying to pin a DUI on you or whatever, my only advice to you on that is take it all the way to fucking trial. Because there ain't fucking one jury, I don't think, in this country that's going to convict fucking someone of a cannabis DUI when you get a cannabis expert on there that explains THC stays in your system for over 30 fucking days. The nanogram levels do not correlate to how high you are at the moment. You can rip this shit up in court. So that'd be my one thing with cannabis DUIs is they may get you on one, but take it all the way to court. Don't take that fucking plea bargain. Do not take the plea bargain on a cannabis DUI. I don't think there's one successfully won. I could be wrong on this, but I don't think there's one successfully won case, or I don't think the DA has won one case in the state of Colorado on a cannabis DUI. They've had plenty of plea bargains now where people just take the plea and get the fuck on. But if you go to trial, there's been almost single fucking victory in this state. All right, car traffic stop. I forget anything, BK? You got anything on traffic stops?
Let's see. I mean, you kind of covered the fact that everything that they're saying, they've been trained on how to make that point of contact. So your best bet is to just, I don't wish to discuss my day or my business. If I've made an infraction, write me my ticket and let me go.
Yep.
They're trained for that. So, we're not. And so you just need to be, be vigilant. Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't be acting stupid if you're doing something stupid.
Right. And here, let's talk about like if the situation went bad. Say they had, I don't know, let's just for circumstance sake, say you had fucking an ounce of hash and a quarter pound of chronic in the car, and somehow you weren't allowed to have that or that much or whatever, and you get arrested with it, and all of a sudden they put you in cuffs, throw you in the car, you're going to jail. This is the course of action that my advice to you would be: shut the fuck up. Do not talk at all. You don't admit that it's yours. You don't take the one. You don't say, "Oh, that one's mine," or you're not going to help yourself in any circumstance at all. The cops will come to you and say, "Oh, it's going to be easier on you if you work with us." It's fucking bullshit. Do not talk to them at all. You say, I'd rather speak to my attorney before I make any statement to you. That's all you need to fucking say to these guys. And I'll tell you why. Because time is your friend. You need time. If you're caught, you're caught. But this is how you beat the criminal justice system in the U.S. is you go get a fucking attorney. It costs money, guys. I'm not even going to lie. Like, a lot of you guys probably can't do what I'm about to talk about, but this is how you beat it. If you literally have time and money, so you get an attorney, your attorney starts doing continuances and delays and continuances and delays, and whatever that quarter pound, whatever the fuck it was, 2.5 years later, you go to court on it. And, oh, by the way, the evidence is lost. The cop's been transferred to a different fucking place. He's not around. He can't make court. They fucking start shredding up the evidence chain. They get private investigators on there to question the credibility of how evidence was collected. And I mean, this shit happens, and that's how you beat a case. It's probably gonna cost you a fuck ton of money, like a fuck ton of money. Thanks for the follow, Green Dazed, but or hosting, sorry, but yeah, that's how you beat it. You know what I mean? The typical person obviously goes to court and they offer you a shitty deal. If you have a shitty lawyer, he says you should probably take this deal, or the strength of your deal is based on the strength of your lawyer. So if your lawyer's a big fucking wig, or he plays golf with the fucking judge or the DA, or it's a hometown type of deal, then they're going to give you the best fucking deal possible on the plea, and you should probably listen to your lawyer's advice and take it, because it's going to be a lot fucking cheaper that way. But at the same time, my advice to you is time is your friend. If you do get pulled, time is your friend. I just saw Caesar here in the chat. Shout out Caesar, he made it all the way to New York City. So yeah, Caesar's here with us in the chat, everybody. But that's getting pulled over. That's potentially catching your case. Another thing is, if you go to jail, don't fucking talk in jail. Do not talk in the fucking holding cell. Do not talk. They're gonna ask you what you're in for. Don't even fucking talk. Do not talk to these people about what the fuck you have, because there's plenty of them in there that will flip over and say, so and so said this, so and so said that, and try to get fucking. You'll be surprised. And when you try to go to trial and to have your good lawyer beat this shit up, how often they'll try to bring in somebody, or they'll put someone in your cell. If you have to stay for weeks or stay in jail for a couple of weeks, they'll throw someone in your cell that literally is there to fish out fucking information. They put him in there so he can fucking be a rat on you. It fucking happens. So just shut the fuck up. Again, don't talk to anybody about it except your fucking attorney. All right, that's getting pulled over. Best of luck getting pulled over. It's one of the trickier situations. If you reek like cannabis, and you're going to want to try to challenge the probable cause. You're going to want to try to challenge the probable cause of the dogs that are going to sniff and all the rest of that. But my advice is I have no miracle cures to get you out of this horrible situation that you might find yourself in. But you can get out of it a year and a half later, 2 years later, with a good fucking attorney and, dragging it on. All right, let's talk about cops coming to your house. This one's easy, honestly. This one is simple. This could probably be the shortest fucking answer I give you. Don't ever fucking answer the door. Don't answer the door. If they have a warrant and they're coming in, let her come in. Let them come in. But if they don't have a warrant, don't answer the fucking door. Literally, don't answer the door. I'll repeat it. Don't answer the fucking door. They could be at the wrong house. They could be trying to ask questions about the neighbor. It could be nothing. Don't fucking talk to them. Literally, don't talk to them at all. If they're coming to your house to question you on something, they don't have enough to arrest you. So they want to question you. And why the fuck are you going to talk to them about anything? And if in some instance you do open that front door on accident and it is a cop right there, you don't go outside. You never go outside. He's going to say something like, hey, you step out here real quick while I talk to you for a minute. Say, I prefer to stay in my home. Thank you. I prefer to stay in my own residence. I'm going to close this screen door. I'll talk to you through the screen door. No problem there. But I'm the second you come outside, you gave him verbal consent. Now you're outside of your property. Now he can potentially arrest you for something. It's just stay in your fucking home. And again, if he has anything to say to you, you're going to have to contact my attorney. Have a nice day. Close the fucking door. Same thing goes for a hotel. If you're in a hotel and you look through the peephole and it's the fucking cops and they're knocking on the door, don't answer the fucking door. If at a hotel it's private property, they're going to go get the fucking security and the manager, and they're going to come open the fucking door regardless. But if you have a cop knocking on your door at a hotel, that would be time to get rid of whatever the fuck you got and send her down the toilet or whatever fuck it is, and wait for them to show the fuck up. Because, don't open the door. Basically, in any circumstance to any police officer, don't walk out into the street. Don't talk to them. Don't. If they ask you to follow them, don't follow them. And talking about a house type of visit. They come to your house, don't do that. If you see them walking around your house, seeing if you're in there, it's happened to me before where a cop came to my house when I was in high school, and he gave me a ticket for like a minor in possession or something. But he was walking around my house, knocking on every door, and I was in the basement, and I saw the motherfucker, and I literally just wouldn't answer the door. So I made them give me. I'm still gonna get the ticket, but I'm not gonna answer the fucking door and make anything worse. He could have smelled that I was smoking grass in there all of a sudden. Now I got a grass ticket. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's just my advice. BK, any advice on doors? Cops coming to your door.
When a cop comes to your door, no, that one you covered just perfect. there's no sense in making anything worse. And if they have anything or any legit reason I warrant, then they're coming in anyway. So
Right.
just kick back and be like, "Oh, I had my headphones on. I didn't hear you."
Right. And like obviously if they're coming in, I wouldn't hide from them.
No.
That's pretty common sense, but I wouldn't hide. I wouldn't fucking try to get in the attic or under a pile of blankets or that. Like it's Saint Dog the Bounty Hunter shit that you're caught. Just put your fucking hands up so you don't get shot. Put your hands up and say, okay, yeah, I'll go with you if that's the case. That's the other thing with the traffic stop I didn't really cover, but particularly if you're a young black man in this country, I would move slowly. If you're getting your insurance out of your fucking dash and all the rest of it, it's fucking is what it is, man. I hate to even say it, but move slowly. Put your hands up, keep them on the dash, and move fucking slow. They fucking like killing you guys, so I would move slow.
I think they like killing everybody.
They like killing everybody, but just as
That's
far
good
as
advice for everybody. But
it's the biggest, and I mean, I sound like pure cop hater.
For our brothers and sisters of color.
But there may be, obviously good cops in the world and people here who have family who are law enforcement, and I'm not even saying like they're evil, terrible people, but what they are is the biggest gang in every city in America. You think that you're in some gang wherever the fuck you are listening to this, your gang ain't shit compared to whatever your local police station
Right.
is. I don't know how many cops, Caesar would know in the chat, how many cops New York City has, like 8,000 or some shit. That's the biggest gang in that city. It might even be like 30,000. Fuck, I'm probably way short. But LAPD, the biggest gang in that city. Denver, biggest gang in that city. So, and they look out for each other. The boys of the blue look out for each other, and they absolutely steal. They absolutely fucking plant evidence. They absolutely fucking, like I say, they will catch you with $30,000 cash and turn in fucking two. It's happened to me. I've seen it happen. I know this shit happens. It's part of their job, and I'm not even gonna say I'm mad about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's the biggest gang in the city, and they're quick with the triggers, and I would be fucking moving cautious around them. All right, next one, getting approached on the street with the cops. So I'm brought back to a time when I was actually in Hawaii with Ninja. We were out like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night on Waikiki Beach. It was pretty dead. We were just walking along the shore and smoking a joint right there by all the hotels and shit. And then way off in the distance, I could see two people walking. And my cop radar kind of went up, but I was like, maybe it's a cop, maybe it's not. I was like, either way, let's turn around and walk the other way. So we turned around and started walking the other way. They were a couple 100 feet behind us, more than like yards behind us, a couple 100 yards. We put out the fucking joint, threw it in the sand, threw some sand over it, and quickly fired up a cigarette and just kept walking. And I could hear them yelling at us, like, hey you, hey you. And like my only goal was to get as much distance as I could away from the joint that I had just put out or whatever. But yeah, as they walk up to me, I just literally turned my back to them and walked straight to my hotel. The cop was yelling at me the entire time across the way. He ran across the street, got to me in my hotel lobby, and came running up to me, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you. Were you just smoking out there on the beach? And I was like, yeah, well, what's the fucking problem? I was like, I just got in here, like I want to have a cigarette. This is my hotel. It's non-smoking. He went out there, had a cigarette. And he's just like, and I think he knew I was smoking cannabis, but at the same time, he's just like, you can't smoke here, man. And I was just like, cool, okay. He's like, give me your ID. And I'm like, I like, no, thank you. I was like, and for the record, as far as I understand, if a police officer asks you for ID, you do have to provide it if you have it. But at the same time, I was in my hotel lobby on private property, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Have a nice day. I walked to the bank of elevators, pushed the button, and went up the thing, and he left me alone. He couldn't follow. It's private property. So, I did. But again, talking to cops on the street, if a cop walks up to you on the street and asks for an ID, I believe you do have to give it to him. And it would probably, this is where you start saying these magic words. Am I free to go or am I detained? Am I free to go or am I detained? Because they're going to ask you questions. You don't answer their questions. You say, am I free to go or am I detained? I'd be like, I'm not answering questions today. Am I free to go or am I detained? Did you see this guy over here? Were you over here at this place? You match a description. Am I free to go or, am I being detained? That's how it works, man. I'm telling go watch Cops. I think it's off the air now, but go watch Cops. You watch every one of these motherfuckers literally give these guys everything they need to get arrested. And you get nervous in the circumstance, and everybody thinks, oh, I can talk my way out of this. I can talk my way out of it. Dude, this is something I wanted to bring up on this show because I researched it. As of this current moment, there is over 10,000 U.S. codes of federal U.S. codes on the book that you can be arrested for. And of those codes, there is an undetermined amount of subsets. It can't even be counted. If you Google it, if you type this into Google right now, how many things can you be arrested for? There is no fucking answer because they've lost track. It is insane. So if you get pulled over, if you have a police interaction, he has the power of unlimited shit to charge you with. Unlimited. Why the fuck would you even challenge that? Like, I can beat this. I can help myself. You can't help yourself. You can't beat this. The only thing you can do is shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
And that's the only thing that's going to help you in these circumstances. And if you're filming it and they're doing something wrong as opposed to, you know, violating your rights, fuck, man, that shit's dropped. That potential payday, everything else. That's why I say film it and shut the fuck up. And then potentially, I shouldn't say potentially, more often than not, they're gonna make a mistake because they're high school bullies, ex-jocks, whatever the fuck it is, and they're used to people complying with their fucking dark sunglasses and deep voice and fucking, you know, ma'am, do this, and you know what I mean? Respect my authority bullshit. It's like, and when they don't get it, typically they do fucking trip up and make a mistake. And when your only response is, am I free to go or am I even detained? I'm not answering questions today. You know, stuff like that. Like, they get frustrated, they call the supervisor, your interaction is longer, but they don't have shit. They don't have shit. And if they break a rule to get some shit on you at that point, well, you filmed it all. You go to court. You get your lawyer. And my advice to everybody else too would be, if you're in this business, in the cannabis business, you should have a fucking criminal defense lawyer that you know. You should shop around a little bit. You should ask around who's good, who's bad, who helped. You should pay attention in the news as to what lawyers beat cases. What lawyers go to trial? What lawyers aren't scared to go to fucking trial and win? As opposed to who's a plea bargain fucking piece of shit, which there's a lot of those guys too.
Yeah. My advice on that is whether, you know, if you don't know somebody and you're actually shopping for a criminal defense attorney, you need to, you know, even if you got busted in a different town, state, anything, you want to go to like the impound lot, people that deal with the court system on a daily basis, and find out what attorneys play golf with the judge who's presiding over your case, or you know who is just known for getting high positive drug cases, you know, drug defense cases. For me, it was I never looked for an attorney when I was younger unless I had already copped a.
That's right. I think that's everybody in America, or everybody pretty much that goes through this, is you don't know a lawyer until you need one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you'd be a hell of a lot better and feel a whole lot better if you had an attorney's business card in your wallet, and you know what I mean, and you could literally just pull out the fucking card and be like, "Here's my attorney. I'm not answering any questions." You know, like that's it. Like, leave me the fuck alone. And that jams them up because it limits their ability to open that unlimited playbook of shit to charge you with.
Right.
Because you're not giving them anything at this point. And it's like, okay. And this is what I just threw on the screen. Actually, Caesar brought up a really good point. He's like, I learned that what they charge you with versus what the DA gets to stick are different. So, and that's a totally true point, too. It's like, essentially, what they charge you with, they might throw the book at you. These cops do this a lot, where they'll be like, we don't know, nothing is very strong. So let's go ahead and throw 6 things on the motherfucker so that they can pick and choose and throw one off or whatever it may be. But when they got one thing on you cut and dry, they pretty much, that's what they charge you with. But when they really don't have much on you, or you shut them down like this, they'll charge you with the gamut to try to fucking fuck you up or convince you to talk or be like, no, I didn't do any of that or this or that. You know, it's like, no, that's what your lawyer's for. Your lawyer walks in there and he shreds them and goes, you don't have a fucking shred of evidence on any of this shit. And the DA looks at it and goes, I don't know what my officers were doing. Let me just fucking throw this out. And they'll be like, and they'll say, well, do you want to cop to this? And the lawyer might say, okay, we'll do that. Or you might say, fuck you and all this. We're going to trial, you know. And a lot of it depends on your money level. And, you know, this is why celebrities don't ever get fucking in trouble for anything, because their lawyers fucking go and beat the whole shit up, and then they throw the max fine on them and they pay $100,000 for something, and they literally get out of all kinds of trouble. You can do the very same thing with a good attorney, but you probably don't have the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's the catch-22 on all this, is America's justice system is pretty fucked.
Oh, it's crooked as fuck.
It's
man.
designed for the poor to go to fucking prison, or you can't
It really
win.
is, and you don't have to. Like I said, when you go the route that I've used, it didn't cost me a lot, but I knew that I had to use an attorney. I knew that there was no showing up to, oh, give me a public defender, and I'm a working man. Look at me, I just got off work. No, you need to go in there like you respect the system because the system caught you up, and now you're in it, and now you got to play the game. And if you show respect to it, you'll walk away, a little bit less scathed. Not unscathed because you're always going to be paying money.
Right.
I paid money into drug funds.
Yeah.
I paid, I'm sure that went to both my attorney and the judge because it's theatrics. They're doing theatrics and going through the motions. That's their daily job, and they're just squeezing whatever money they can out of the system every way that they can.
Oh, yeah.
And they're, like I said, that's why you find, because not all attorneys and the judges get along. So you don't want to fuck up and spend thousands of dollars on an attorney that the judge doesn't like. And so he's going to keep, now, you know what? Let's do a continuous. That officer wasn't available for his testimony today. So we're going to look at coming back, here in 30 days, 90 days.
Over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. And bleed you dry because it's not, the judge isn't losing any money in doing that.
Oh, no, it's a game on both sides, 100%. They play the game right back at you, and they'll take that one look at you and be like, we'll bleed him before, and then after he dries his money out, then we'll hit him with charges and he can't fight back, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I've seen that before, too. It's definitely a game both sides. It was a good point that you brought up is actually dress up for court. It's kind of fucking... I have a funny story about this. This is actually goes against what I'm telling you, but... yeah, I got in trouble for a sulfur burner. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. Like this is a long time ago. It's like 4 years ago. We had a sulfur burner at the warehouse that we burned in like fucking one of our back rooms or whatever. And we literally left it for years. I think it was years. It was just hanging there. And one day the fire department came in and they'd missed it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
They came in there and they saw the fucking sulfur burner and they're like, that's illegal in Denver. It's funny because, side note, I look at people's Instagram pages on all the time in Denver, other grows and shit, and I see a sulfur burner in the corner, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, either way. But, yeah, and they wrote me a fucking ticket for a fucking sulfur burner, and it was like a dangerous workplace thing or something. It was below like a traffic ticket. It's not a misdemeanor. It's none of that. But I had to go to court, and when I went to court, I did the whole thing where I put on the suit and tie, and I had like the shine shoes, and I was gonna go in and dazzle the fucking courtroom, the judge or whatever fuck it may be, and tell him I respect the shit out of your thing, and I'm here to fucking whatever, fucking go to court with my attorney, and here it is. And I remember walking in there, and like they had cited, I was there with a bunch of food trucks, and they had cited all these food truck guys for like having dirty food trucks or whatever the fuck something was or whatever it may be. But there was like a line of 100 of us. I was the only dude in a suit, and I watched all these dudes go up in front of me and get fucking $200 fine, $200 fine, $200 fine. I walked up there in a suit and shit. $1,000 fucking fine and 1 year probation, unsupervised probation. And I'm going, if I had put on some overalls and shit, came in here in shit kickers after I just transplanted, you'd have thrown me $200 fucking fine. But regardless, that's not the moral of this story. I don't know why I just told that. Go in there in your fucking suit. You'll have a much better fucking shot, particularly in a criminal case. You know what I mean? A criminal case will certainly help you. But yeah, I respect their court. I can't believe how many times I go to their courts and they the people wearing jerseys and shit. It's like, don't wear your fucking Kobe Bryant jersey to court, dude. It's not gonna. Maybe if you're on jury duty and you're trying to not get picked.
Right. That would be all right. But yeah, don't take it lax, or don't show that you take it lax. Show that you take it serious because they do. And they get more pissed off. Not necessarily even pissed off. It's they see more of a target on you when you show up in a rock t-shirt, and jeans and tennis shoes, and they're like, "Oh, this guy here will make me some money on my kickbacks for getting another federal, cell filled." So, that's their ultimate goal.
That's a private prison system, yeah. Private prison system's totally fucked. That's another thing I wanted to mention. And if you find yourself in the middle of a heavy case or actually have to do a little time or something like that, they're offering you some time. This is my personal opinion and personal advice. I would do the time over the fucking, or how would I say that? I would let's see. They try to keep you in the system after you get off your deal by throwing you on probation for 4 or 5 years and then making you do drug rehab class and then random UAs and all this shit to trip you up so that you go back into the system and you violate probation and then you go back to jail. And it's like this whole fucking thing where even though you're out and you feel done and you're like, all right, I'm fucking out of this shit, I want to move on with life. It's like you don't move on with life. You got 4 more fucking years of bullshit, or 5 or 6 sometimes years of bullshit where you're checking with these probation officers and all they're trying to do is trip you up and make you keep a job and make you fucking, submit to these drug tests. And it's nonstop. It fucks with your psyche. It puts you in a horrible mindset. It's like it's literally a fucking corrupt ass system that is looking to generate more revenue off of these people. And it's not necessarily, like the prison wants to make money. No, it's all the ancillary shit. It's the drug test people that want to make it. Drug testing in this country is a massive fucking industry. The fucking counseling and the rehab and the bullshit. And I got caught with fucking cannabis and they made me go to AA. I had to go do 12 fucking steps for AA. I didn't even drink alcohol. It wasn't a minor, it wasn't an alcohol offense. And they fucking made me do it as part of a probation thing that I was on. And I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? And part of AA is admitting you have a problem.
Right.
So I got to go into AA for 12 fucking steps and be like, I don't drink. They're like, that's what everybody fucking says when they come here. I'm like, I don't fucking drink. And they're like, okay. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I drink. I have a problem. Can I go to step 2 now? Okay. And like, I got my coin. And then I went to a bar afterwards.
You had to go through literally all 12 steps?
In Kansas City. And they gave me a coin. I was right out of high school. And after I got the fucking coin for getting through AA, I didn't even drink. I went into a bar there and fucking, if you give them the coin, you can drink for free all night on the house or whatever the fuck. So imagine how fucking crazy that is. It's like, turn in your AA coin here and you get you can drink all night long. And I saved it for like a little while, but I was even underage when I did that shit.
That was a bars thing?
Yeah.
If you turn in your AA, wow, yeah, bro.
That's where my coin went. Wow. But that's what I'm saying is the system is fucked. So what I was getting at, sorry for that little tangent, but what I was getting at was if you have the option that they're giving you, hey, you want to do 8 months and be done, or do you want to do supervised probation for 3 years or whatever the fuck? Take the fucking 8 months, go to county jail, sit there on fucking holiday, watch TV, sit on your ass, get out free and clear so you don't have to go through hell for the next fucking couple of years. Like, that option isn't always available, but I knew a guy that went to prison in Wyoming for like 10, 20 pounds that he was transporting. And they gave him that option where I was like, do you want to get out now or do you want to do 2 years and fucking just walk out free? And he's like, give me the fucking 2 years. I'm not going to do your 8 years of parole this and fucking my ankle monitor that and drug test this and, breathalyzer breathe in your car that. Like, the whole thing was fucking just ridiculous. So it's your personal opinion, personal preference, and how you want to handle that. Everybody who's in jail wants the fuck out, man. But at the same time, be careful for that system. They'll dangle freedom, but then they'll fucking try to fuck you up with every which way they can to violate you. You know what I mean? So be careful with that. What else do I have here?
2 hots in a cot in county ain't bad. I'm telling you, like it is a little mini vacation if you just look at it that way. Everything, but that's life. Everything is perspective. It's how you look at it.
Yes, I have a public defender on here, so we kind of touched on it or whatever. But if you have a crime or if you're committed of a crime and you've been charged and you have to go to court, it happens a lot where it's not a huge crime, so you don't have to go to jail, but they got you a ticket and it's like trespassing or some other shit or whatever. And he's like, oh, fuck, I have to go to court on this. And you show up, like a lot of times they'll mandate you get a public defender. If you don't have an attorney, they'll make you get a public defender to handle the case. Don't use the public defender. Public defender is like the worst fucking option that you can have. Their caseload is through the fucking roof. They're not bad people. They're actually like the best, like kind-hearted, not honest, but from a stance of morality, they love the law the most. They're literally working for nothing, attempting to further their career so they can be a DA and charge everybody later, or so they can whatever, you know what I mean?
Or
but
become a good defense attorney.
Good defense attorney somewhere else. But my point is as much as you might like them or they seem like they're qualified or good, their caseload's through the roof, man. They're gonna spend 10 minutes or less on your case, and the DA also knows they're the public defender. So they're not going to give you any kind of decent offer. Now you're into the poorer realm of society where the people who cannot afford attorneys, and I understand there's lots of them out there, but if you cannot afford an attorney and you're stuck with the public defender kind of scenario, that's where they make their bones.
Yeah.
It's like that's the game of the justice system in the United States.
And
And I would say this: if you weren't aware of something that you're caught off guard when you walk into the whole thing, ask for a continuance. You have the right to ask for a continuance to get counsel. You're like, I didn't know that I had to take this public defender. I don't want this public defender. I didn't even, I want 90-day continuance so that I can go out and retain counsel, and it's going to cost you $2,000 a retainer for him just to represent you on the first part. It might be $10,000, $20,000 for the whole thing, depending on how serious it may be.
Right.
If it's minor, it might just be a few $1,000 to get you the fuck it done with it or out of it. I've had things as small as where one time I had the cops raid the grow at a warehouse over in Aurora. And the phone call that nobody wants is on my voicemail. Is hello, Mr. Hulk. We're down at your warehouse here. We're about to make entry. We have a search warrant, and we're going to need you to come down here. And blah blah blah. And I was just like, what? Fuck! I'm not going down there at all. I'm not going to walk into my own arrest. Like, what do you think? I'm stupid? Like, first phone call is to an attorney. And I'm like, all right, let me get a fucking attorney. I had used them a little bit in the past with cannabis and stuff, so I called one of my guys, and I was like, yo, I don't know what to do here. And he's like, hold on, let me make some calls. He called down there, figured out what was going on. He's like, yeah, they've already made entry. They've already left. He's like, we're going to have to go down there and talk to them. So he went there with me. We met them. We showed them the marijuana cards, everything else. They didn't really have much to charge me on, but they charged me on all these zoning violations for having the wire not done to code, and I run a bunch of Romex everywhere and shit. And they're able to charge me with a bunch of code violation, but not really marijuana offenses. And but I take that back. They did charge me with cannabis cultivation, and all the zoning offenses or whatever the fuck. But I had my cards and all the rest of it. So I had my lawyer go down to court, and this cost me $1,000. You think this is a massive fucking problem? I'm like, holy shit! I had fucking 200-300 plants in that warehouse, a couple like 50 lights or something, and I was just like, okay. And went down to court, and I remember. First of all, if you have a lawyer, you got to go first. You don't got to wait there all fucking day because your lawyer's paid by the hour. The court recognizes that. So they let all the paid attorneys go first so you can get on, get done, and move the fuck on. But before I even got to court, my lawyer was there. He had already talked to the DA in the side room in the back there. He walked up to me as I walked into the place, and he goes, you're all set. I got you set up on a littering ticket. Will that work? And I'm going, littering's good, because I already previously told him I can't have any cannabis offenses or any drug shit or any weird stuff. I'm going to be in the cannabis industry. I don't want to have any cannabis offenses. He's like, okay, no problem. He goes, $1,000 to this attorney, my cannabis felony cultivation shit, plus all this other stuff, plus illegal zoning of code violations and all this other bullshit, turn into $1,000 littering ticket, unkept property. You know what I mean? Yeah, happily pay $1,000 and go the fuck home.
Right.
Happily pay the lawyer $1,000 for doing that.
I would have doubled it.
If I walk in there with the public defender and I say, I don't know shit, I thought I was following the laws. I have my weed cards.
10 to 20.
I don't know about 10 to 20, but they're going to charge me with it. You know what I mean? And I'm probably doing 4 years probation and fucking have a fucking felony on my record or, deferred judgment of some sort. Depends on how you go through it. But that is the justice system in America right there. It's like if you with an attorney, without an attorney, it's a big fucking problem, and it ain't no big problem at all. You know what I mean? So now, granted, if you commit serious crimes, like no lawyer's really gonna fucking help you. And I guess one of the last things we'll talk about: cell phones. We're all guilty of this. We're all guilty of this. I don't care who's watching this, listening to this. If I got access to your phone and was able to read everything just like this government does, and even with a warrant, if they could pull it after the fact and read all your fucking messages, dude, they got it all there. It's all there. They don't need all crazy evidence and then tap your phones and all the rest of it. They just fucking pull a warrant on your phone and take your phone and look at it all there. So stop doing dumb shit on your phone. They're not in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure this has been out there as far as news, that Signal app is not fucking safe. They've figured out how to bust those encryptions, those end-to-end encryptions and shit. The WhatsApp has totally been fucking cracked or whatever. Like all those messaging apps people use that think that they're safe when they're doing their trapping, shit ain't safe. That's what Al Qaeda used and shit, and they cracked all them fucking immediately. They were like, oh, fucking terrorists use fucking WhatsApp? Well, we need to figure that out. Do you think they don't know about all the drug dealing shit you're doing on WhatsApp? Yes, they do. You think they don't know about it on Signal or all the other ones? Like they fucking can't. They do or can figure it out. Now they're potentially that can be encrypted end to end, and you can delete those chats immediately after, and it makes it much harder to pull those chats. That would be a smart thing to do, but at the same time, I'm just saying, stop doing your dirty on your phone. You're all guilty of it, everybody. And don't do your dumb shit on your phone. Don't talk
go
dumb
back
on your
to
phone.
Pagers, man. Pagers and codes.
End or person to person fucking scenarios, man. Person to person scenarios. But yeah. What'd I forget dealing with cops? Chat, tell me what I forgot about with the cops and what you should do in dealing with cops. Any advice? Lars says, Signal is safe. WhatsApp isn't encrypted anymore. I agree. Signal is probably safe if you have your messages auto-delete themselves immediately. The encryption is there to encrypt the message over the path, if you will. But if you get caught with that and you still have a full chat history on Signal, you're fucked. We should have I don't know. I'm sure it wouldn't last. The bigger it gets, it wouldn't last. But we should have a small encryption app that we know is legit somehow. But again, I don't trust the shit. You know, they were able to figure out that dark web dude. You know, they figured out that Silk Road guy or whatever, like right. Where he was, and that shit was supposed to not be traceable. And they got a team of MIT kids on it, and they figured out exactly where he was and all of his shit. Like, and that's just dark web selling drugs on the internet. They thought he was killing people. That's a weird, crazy story. It's a whole other show. But yeah, if you don't know about the dark web, Silk Road, you should learn about Silk Road. And can't remember his name, but the cat that ran it. Interesting tidbit here, real quick. He started the Silk Road because a cannabis seed vendor approached him about selling seeds online and wanted to use some sort of anonymous way of doing it. So basically, Silk Road was born from a cannabis seed vendor, and I've been determined to figure out who the fuck it was, because I know him. I know who that is, and you know who what's his name is, Ross. Yeah, Ross Ulbricht or whatever. Somebody in the cannabis world knows Ross and asked him to basically start the Silk Road. He's a seed breeder, like that is known. So we just don't know who the fuck it is, and I want to crack the mystery. So if you know who the fuck it is, who's fucking Silk Road's homie, Ross's homie, the breeder guy. I kind of want to know, but then again, I don't, because the feds probably want to know too. Right. So yeah,
it's one of those.
But yeah, that's an interesting story, and I kind of feel, I don't know, I feel bad for that kid. At the same time, what he was doing with the murder stuff got kind of gnarly, but it was all fake. So it's I'm talking about stuff people probably don't understand, but he used his website to hire hitmen, and turned out the hitman was just cops, and they faked the hit and everything else, and he wired like $200,000 in Bitcoin for hits and shit, and that's what they got him on. But then when the feds realized they couldn't charge murder because no one was murdered, and it was their own people, they dropped all the murder stuff and just hit him with the fucking selling drugs online. But it's crazy. They tried to trap him in a murder thing, and like it's entrapment 101.
Wouldn't conspiracy hold a higher penalty?
He got life. He got life plus 40 years or something.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like
he needs to get pardoned or something. You know what I mean? If you take the murder shit away, which is pretty upsetting, but again, that's the cops fucking with him purely, and then it turns into just a drug thing where he's selling drugs on the internet. What the fuck is he doing in life in prison for, man? That's fucking ridiculous. He needs a pardon.
Right. Well, he didn't sell the drugs, did he? I mean,
not technically.
Exactly. Does Uber, the company, the CEO, owner, do they give you a ride when you call their?
I mean, it's the same concept, right?
Exactly. But, yeah. It's not touching my hand.
You know. Well, he did escrow. That's the whole problem. It's the only way that website works is he held money in escrow, so like he's middleman for sure, and they're taking a piece. Yeah, he's in the middle of your drug deal. Sorry, I didn't look at the chat that much. Was there any questions? Anybody have any questions? Not that I'm a legal expert at all, but right. Anybody want to?
It's from experience, guys.
Did I say anything super stupid that you want to call me out on? Go ahead, chat. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to move on to giving away a pack. We're about at the end of this.
Yeah, just remember, guys, especially when cops pull you over, they're trying to generate revenue every step of the way. So don't give them no money.
They're saying in the chat he started with shrooms, not beans. I might have my information wrong, but I watched some documentary, one of 100, and who knows if it's fucking accurate, that it was a seed vendor that was trying to start. It was why he actually started. But I stand corrected, possibly, potentially. All right, let's move on to free shit one more time.
Mushroom sound.
It's free!
All right, everybody. Also, last week we did a weird count the vial thing. I can't remember the guy's name who won, but I haven't even sent it to you, bro. Sorry, I got your email. I will get it out. That whole painting fiasco that I was talking about, painting for 3 fucking weeks and everything else, like I didn't even get out to it. Plus, everybody who bought Bruce Banner shit on the restock, I didn't even. We're gonna do it tonight actually, or very soon. But it's been 3 days or something. Haven't even touched it. So sorry, it's coming. It's a one man. It's not one man. It's 2-3 man operation around this bitch sometimes, and I gotta sleep and shit sometimes, you know. All right, free shit. One more pack of these S1s. I'm gonna have to stop doing this on this podcast because we're less than like, I don't know, 50 total packs privately in my collection, and I got to bring them to some trade shows so you guys come see us. Speaking of trade shows, before I give this away, let me go back to BK Split. I forgot all the stuff. What is all the stuff about this weekend? There's a lot going on this weekend. So first of all, Gene Traders, New England. If you go see Ninja's booth or Mike Dow's husband, if you go check out their booth, they're going to have Dark Horse seeds up there. So you can grab some in New England and Gene Traders this Sunday, 12 to 4. And St. Louis this weekend at the Big Top, some circus-type looking venue. What is it called, BK?
It's Canafest.
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 So
yeah.
BK is going to be there in person, shaking hands and kissing babies. St. Louis, you're going to make the drive. It's actually nice weather. It's going to be like 74 degrees both days. Chill. Why don't you come down if you're anywhere near St. Louis or in the Midwest? Why don't you come down and hang out with BK? Scoop some beans. He's going to have a few of these with him that are sold out all over the place. So if you really want one of these, you can go get one from BK in St. Louis. They won't be in Nican because I haven't hooked up with those guys yet. But it will be in St. Louis. But yeah, BK, what's it called again?
Canafest.
And what are the days and times and what's going on?
It's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. What is that? The 31st and the 1st.
31st and the 1st. So Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 7, St. Louis in a place called the Big Top. I think you all know what that is. Yeah, BK will be there. All right, back to free shit. Sorry.
It's free!
All right, free shit. We're going to pick the 23rd, like Michael Jordan. Bruce Banner, email, darkhorsegeneticslive@gmail.com. The 23rd person to put in the subject line, St. Louis. St. Louis. I don't care how you spell it. Lots of O's and U's for extra credit. St. Louis. All right, St. Louis. 23rd person. You guys realize how much of a bitch it is to shrink wrap all these and make them gangster for everyone? But we're going to keep doing it. I said I would. I promised I'd do the packaging this way, and I almost instantly regret it because it's a lot of work, but it looks damn good. All right, everybody. That's the show. That's episode 64. Me bullshitting. I think don't hold me to it because lots of times it doesn't actually pan out. But I think next week we're going to have Professor P on. Caesar will probably be remote. I think he's going to be in New York City for about a week or so. So I'll probably try to get Caesar in remotely since he's not on a plane. And we'll try to do Professor P next week, which we almost had him on once before and we just couldn't quite get the timing right. But I will try to make it happen. So come see us, St. Louis. Come see us, New England. A week from now, or 2 weeks from then, New York, upstate, Gene Traders. And we're going all over the goddamn country. And, yeah, catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace, everybody. Thanks, BK, for doing it.
For sure, man. See you.
Little baby gay fish, come sit on my shoulder today. Little gay parrot fish, sit on my shoulder today and make me a fried shrimpy dish with some soy sauce, baby. As the beat drops, super fries. Super fry egg roll, triple fry rice, triple fry rice, baby. 2 for 1 egg roll, super triple fry rice, triple fry rice, baby. Don't forget the soy sauce, chan chan chan. There's my gay fish song, dudes. What?